Hello everyone, this is the finale of What If Naruto Was Reborn as Kyuubi, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Tsunade sat at her desk in the Hokage office. It's been weeks since she sent Naruto and his team out to get Sasuke. She was beginning to worry when they would return. She looked outside and saw that it was raining. The clouds covered the sun that it made the early afternoon seem like the middle of the night. She couldn't help but get a small chill in her when she looked at the rain. Something about this weather made her feel uneasy. Hokage-sama. A Junin entered the office. The team has returned. They have Sasuke. Tsunade quickly followed the Junin out of the office and to the gates. Naruto, you really got him back. The rain was weak, but enough time outside could soak anyone in a matter of time. She didn't bother to get anything to cover her head, all she cared about was the success of the mission. The team walked towards the gate. A few Junin already met with them earlier and accompanied them back to Konoha. Kakashi led the group, with Yamato behind. Sasuke's hands were bound and connected to a rope that was in Kakashi's hand. Sakura and Hinata, Shikamaru, and Ino walked behind Yamato with the remaining Junin behind them. Once they reached the gate, Tsunade, Jiraiya, and other shinobi were waiting for them. Took longer than I expected. Tsunade said, but at least you have Sasuke back. Kakashi didn't answer. Kakashi, what is it? She looked behind him and saw that Naruto was missing. Where's Naruto? The team put their heads down. The mention of Naruto's name was something they could bear to hear at the moment. Hinata covered her eyes as she began to cry. Kakashi, where is Naruto? Tsunade demanded. Kakashi pulled something out of the pouch on his vest. He gave the object to Tsunade as he continued to walk. As everyone followed, Tsunade was left with a shocked look on her face when she saw what was given back to her. The N-lace that was given to her by her grandfather, then given to Naruto. The very N-lace that she gave to the one who would someday be the next Hokage, it was back in her possession. She saw the two Junin walk past her, carrying a mat that had a body covered by a sheet. She didn't need to look inside to know who it was. As everyone left, she was left alone with just Jiraiya. She dropped on her knees and screamed. Screaming loud and in pain. Her greatest fear had come back to her. Her N-lace of death still had a purpose to accomplish, and that purpose had been made. Naruto opened his eyes. He found himself in a strange place. Everything looked so beautiful. He found himself lying in a garden with a stream. There were flowers blooming everywhere and the sky was bright and blue. The sun shined brightly on him. Where am I? He got up and looked around. He didn't see anyone around, not a single person, not even an animal. No rabbit, no dog, not even an insect. It was like he was in utopia. He turned around and fell back in surprise when he saw someone looking straight at him. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. Ha! Naruto quickly got up. Zabuza. You still remember me? He asked. I'm glad you do. His appearance was just like how he was when they first met, albeit, without the bandage wrapping around his face, or the many battle scars he carried before his death. Where am I? Naruto asked, and why are you here? Well, I died. Zabuza answered, so I think it's safe to assume you are too. Naruto's eyes widened. I'm afraid so. But you still have a chance. A figure suddenly came into view. The robes that this person wore instantly made Naruto remember. Haku. Naruto looked at him in surprise, so this is heaven. You still have a chance to live again. Haku smiled. You don't have to stay here if you don't want to. Why? Naruto asked. How do I still have a chance to live? Because it isn't your time yet. Haku answered. Naruto looked around the place. This place felt perfect. He wondered if he really did want to leave this place. It was so beautiful, he wouldn't have to worry about any more troubles here. But then he remembered what he would leave behind if he stayed. Hinata. You gave up your life for a friend. Haku said, you accepted death with open arms to help him. That should be enough to entitle you with another chance at life. How can I get back? Through here. Naruto looked to follow the other voice. Standing by a doorway on a mountain face was Chio. Did you miss me, Uzumaki Naruto? Chio-sama. Naruto was surprised that he was starting to see the faces of people who had died. I guess I can't play S here anymore. Chio smiled, considering I'm already S. Naruto chuckled. He turned his attention to the door. What's past that door? Your world. Chio answered, enter through these doors, you can go back home. You can return to your body and live once more, fulfill your lifespan. But it won't be easy. Zabuza said. And the door is protected by a strong force. Those wishing to go back have to break that force if they want to open the door. Haku explained, none of us have ever tried, for we didn't want to go back, and no one has ever been able to get through. Naruto looked at the door. It seemed quite ordinary, nothing supernatural about it, but seeing that it was the way back to the living world, it must be near impossible to get the doors open. Well, why is this door here in the first place? Originally, spirits of heaven were allowed to enter through the doors to visit their loved ones. Haku explained. But some spirits began to take advantage of the opportunity to return home. Zabuza said, as punishment, the door was sealed and prevented from opening. Well, what makes you think that I can make it through? Naruto asked. You have the power. Naruto was now looking at the once third Hokage. You're here too. He pointed a finger at him in surprise. Well, I am S, aren't I? Sarutobi asked. I have to say, you truly grew into a fine man. I can hardly recognize that immature boy from all those years ago, he laughed, remembering how Naruto was once a very childish little boy, but now he had become a grown adult. Naruto, I know you have the power to make this possible. How? If I had the power, I wouldn't even be here. Naruto said, what makes you think I have that kind of power? There was one other who made it through the doors. Chio said, I believe you may know him. Gaara of the Sand. The third spoke, you remember that he died once, but was returned to life. Well, with Chio's help, Gaara was able to go through those doors. But he had help back then. What makes you think I can do this alone? Because you are the son of the greatest shinobi ever. The third answered. What? Naruto asked, the son of who? The son of the greatest shinobi. Another voice said, my son. Ha! Naruto was now starting to meet some more faces, but the next person was one he didn't expect. Naruto was a boy who never asked for anything large. Tsunade said, all he wanted was to be accepted by everyone, he wanted to be loved. But now it seems he can no longer have that. It was now the night of the day Naruto's body was brought to the village. Tsunade prepared for a funeral to honor Naruto. Everyone in the village gathered for this event. Everyone began to feel greatly upset. The villagers began to regret their actions towards him when he was younger. He had never done anything to hurt them, yet they hurt him so much. Hinata tried to fight back her tears. She had been crying for so much ever since the day Naruto had died. Boshi was at his funeral, waiting for his burial. We will remember him, and remember the great things he has done for us all, never asking for anything in return. Tsunade spoke again, Hinata, please come and light the fire. Hinata walked towards Tsunade and accepted the small torch that she had been holding. She walked towards Naruto's body and lit the 4 torches that were on each corner of the stone table. Seeing him like this was now making her tears come more, and become more difficult to fight back. She dropped the torch and fell on her knees, unable to control her emotions. Neji quickly ran to her side and helped her get back to her seat. A Junin came and picked up the torch and carried it back to the stand that was next to Tsunade. Everyone, give a prayer for Naruto. Tsunade commanded. I know you. Naruto said, pointing to the man, you're the 4th Hokage. That's right. He smiled. The man stood before Naruto, dressed in the standard Hokage robes, with his Junin vest underneath it. My name's Minato Namikaze, but I'm sure you knew that. Naruto was surprised with how he looked so similar to him. You just told me that I'm your son. How? I'm the Kyuubi's reincarnation. Minato sighed, well, clearly you don't know my side of the story. What other side is there? I've heard so many different stories. First, I was told that my parents abandoned me, then they say they died because of the Kyuubi. Mizuki tells me that I'm the container of the Kyuubi, and after 3 years Iruka-sensei tells me that I'm the Kyuubi's reincarnation. Are they all lies? Naruto asked. He was starting to get very angry. He's been told so many things about himself, he now didn't know which ones were true and which ones were completely made up. What's the truth? Am I human? A Yuma? Who the hell am I? What the hell am I? You are my son, Minato said, my one and only son. How can I be? Sit down, Naruto. Minato sat on the grass, waiting for Naruto to sit with him. When he did, Minato began, you know that the Kyuubi attacked the village and killed so many people. You know that you are the Kyuubi and that there was a seal put on you to make sure the Kyuubi's evil doesn't break free. And finally, you know that I died to make that seal. Yeah, well, when the Kyuubi attacked, you were just a few months old. Because of the attack, you were close to dying. Minato looked back to his memories of when baby Naruto was almost dead. I wanted to save you, but I was limited in possibilities. I defeated the Kyuubi and performed a sealing technique on it. My jutsu was to transfer the Kyuubi's lifespan into something else. I offered your body, hoping that it may save your life. You did what? Naruto asked, completely shocked. What I didn't expect was that the Kyuubi would become the body. You may be the Kyuubi in body and mind. Minato reached out to point to Naruto's chest, but at heart and soul, you are my son. Naruto was now shocked by how Minato did so much for him. Someone really loved me this much when I was just a baby. Ot2-chan. Naruto still wasn't too sure if this was real. Are you really? Yes, Naruto. I'm really your father. Minato smiled. Naruto threw himself at Minato and wrapped his arms around him, burying his face in his chest. Ot2-chan. Never couldn't remember how long it's been since he cried this much. Why did you have to give your life up for me? I was hoping that you would be saved and that we can be happy together, but the jutsu had side effects. Minato answered, I never calculated the outcomes of using this jutsu on a Yuma. It needed of two bodies, one to make the jutsu take effect, and another to keep the seal locked. Another? Naruto asked, lift himself from Minato. Yes, your mother, Kushina Uzumaki. Minato said, it was her love for you that compelled her to be the next S. It was her love that made you the kind, caring person you are to this day. He turned back and looked in the horizon to see someone approaching them. Naruto looked in the same direction. The figure slowly began to get in better view. Naruto could see that it was a woman with long red hair. Who is that? That's her. Minato smiled, go say hi to her. Naruto got up and ran ahead. He ran as fast as he could to get to her. Oka-chan. He began to get closer and closer to the one who was meant to be his mother. Once he reached her, he threw his arms around her, buried his face on her shoulder and cried. Naruto, you're here. Kushina hugged him back, you shouldn't be here. It's not your time yet. I can't leave now. Naruto said, not after seeing you. I don't want to leave. Naruto, you have to. Minato said, you can't stay here, knowing that you still have a life to live. But I just got to know you both. I finally have a family again. Naruto said, I don't want to leave you guys. Don't take me back please, I want to stay here with you. Naruto, we'll still be together. Kushina smiled, we'll always be in your heart. As long as you remember us, we'll always be there. Naruto couldn't hold back his tears. He hugged his mother once more. Minato kneeled down and hugged the two. After a long moment of a loving embrace between family, they broke apart. Naruto, you must go through the doors. Naruto wiped the tears from his eyes. Will I see you guys again? When the day comes that you are meant to be here, we'll be waiting for you. Kushina smiled, no matter how long we have to wait, we'll be here. All right. Naruto forced a smile on his face. With the prayers now complete, they prepared for the burial. Naruto's grave was already dug up, and waiting for the body. Hinata looked on as they prepared to carry Naruto's body off the table and into the grave. Wait. Hinata ran ahead. Hinata-sama. Neji tried to stop her, but was too slow to stop her. Hinata, stop. Sakura tried to catch her, but she too was not fast enough. Hinata stopped at Naruto's body and hugged him tightly. Naruto-kun, please don't ever forget me. I won't forget about you. As she hugged the body once more, she felt something against her chest. After another few seconds, she felt it again. It was coming from Naruto. She let go of Naruto and activated her Byakugan. It can't be. What is it? Suin walked to Hinata. Hinata looked at Naruto's chest. Suddenly, Another thump occurred and his veins had a sudden shot of chakra. He has a heartbeat. Everyone got up from their seats in shock. After hearing Hinata say that Naruto had a heartbeat, they all gathered around the body for proof. Naruto panted heavily as he stood in front of the doors. He clenched his fists into a ball and punched at the doors once more. Thump. She's telling the truth, Neji said, who also had his Byakugan on. But it's very slow. Sakura, Sasuke, and everyone else gather around Naruto. They all waited for something to happen, waiting for a miracle. I can't do this. Naruto panted, it's too strong. That's not the Naruto I remember fighting. Haku said, you never gave up from anything, why give up now? We all believe in you, kid. Zabuza said, don't make our hopes go to waste. The doors are too strong. Naruto said, so was everyone you fought in life. Shio said, but you defeated them in the end. This is different. Naruto said, no it's not. Sarutobi said, it's only different because you want it to be. The strength of the doors are no different than the strength of all your enemies. You just have to keep your head up and break through it all. Naruto, you're our son. Minato said, speaking for his wife, and if you really are Kushina's child, you will never give up from anything. Naruto smiled. He had all these people to support him, he wasn't going to back down now. Gathering more strength, he punched at the door once more. He wasn't going to give up, he had too much on the line. He couldn't leave his friends, he couldn't leave Hinata. Especially not Hinata. With more fuel in him, he punched at the doors again. Thump, thump, thump. The heartbeat began to come more quickly, but it still wasn't fast enough. Hinata's Byakugan was able to see Naruto's chakra veins be filled with chakra each time the heartbeat came, but fade when it stopped. Please, Naruto-kun. Hinata begged, please come back. Naruto began to punch at the doors with more strength and speed, until finally, they broke the doors open. He fell on his knees from exhaustion and panted heavily. You did it. Kushina cheered, that's my son. Naruto smiled, thanks. He turned to his parents, I'm gonna miss you. We'll miss you too, Naruto. Minato smiled, but this isn't goodbye. I know. Naruto walked into the light that was once hidden by the doors. Upon walking past the doors, they shut behind him, sealing the light from the other side. Hinata continued to look at his heart. Her mind was filled with joy when she saw his heartbeat come much faster. Thump, 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 thump. Naruto took in a deep breath as he threw himself off his back. He looked around to see that everyone was staring at him. Hi guys. He panted heavily. He felt so great to be alive once more. Hinata threw herself on Naruto in joy. Naruto hugged her back. I'm so glad you're back, Naruto-kun. So am I. Naruto smiled. He stroked her hair gently, he was glad that he was back. He couldn't leave Hinata alone. No, he knew it was best to have come back. His father was right, he still had a life to live. After they parted from their hug, Naruto moved in again and kissed her. He held the back of her hair gently and took in the sweet taste of the girl he loved. Oh, come on Naruto. Shikamaru said, not at a funeral, let alone your own. Neither Naruto nor Hinata listened. Hinata reached up to hold Naruto's cheek in her right hand, stroke his hair with her left. She no longer cared who was around. She didn't care if all of Konoha was watching, she no longer cared if her father was watching. She loved Naruto, and he meant more to her than anything else in the world. Naruto. Naruto pulled himself away from Hinata when he heard Tsunade say his name. Ba-chan. He got off the table that he was laying on and approached her. We have things to talk about. A lot of things. All of Konoha gathered at the main center of the village for this day. A missing nin of their village was caught and now to be executed. The villagers were surrounding a platform that had a wooden pole in the center. Sasuke Uchiha was bound to the pole from his ankles and his chest. In the crowd, many of his past friends were there to see it, Sakura, Shikamaru, Lee, Ino, and everyone else. All of them were there, except one. Tsunade was the only one who was also on the platform, for her role as the Hokage was needed for the execution. Uchiha, Sasuke, you are here to face the charges of your crime as the missing nin of our village of Konoha. Tsunade's voice was raised so that everyone could hear. Being in league with Orochimaru and the attempted death of Shinobi during your time as a missing nin. She turned to Sasuke, who had his head down in defeat. Do you deny these charges? No. Sasuke boldly answered, I confess to them. Tsunade looked at him in pity. She knew that Naruto didn't want him, but his crimes were in need of punishment. I'm truly sorry, Sasuke, she whispered to him. Don't be. Sasuke responded, I deserve this. All right then. Tsunade turned back to the gathering mass. Since you have confessed to these charges, the punishment is hereby carried out. You are to be executed on the spot. Several Anbu stood on one side of the foot of the platform, having kunais ready. Sakura knew she didn't want to see this, but she wanted to see Sasuke's face for one last time before he would be lifeless. Kakashi, being a Junin and his past sensei, was forced to witness this execution. The Anbu prepared their kunai, taking their aim and waiting for the command to throw. Tsunade turned away and closed her eyes. Now, she regrettably ordered. Anbu threw their kunais, but what shocked everyone who was witnessing the execution was that the kunais suddenly deflected off of other kunais that were thrown from a different direction. Naruto stood on one of the buildings near the scene and jumped to the platform. One Anbu got up on the platform with his sword drawn. Traitor! The Anbu charged at Naruto. Naruto ducked from at his head and delivered a kick to the Anbu's head, but that wasn't enough. He took out a kunai and blocked the sword attacks, staying on the defensive for the entire time. When he found a good opening, he rammed himself at the Anbu and sent him off the platform and into the crowd. Naruto turned to Sasuke and cut the bonds with the kunai. Come on, Naruto said. What are you doing? Sasuke asked, knowing fully well that this was insanity. Do you want to live? Naruto asked, even if it was just for a little longer. Naruto, this is my execution, I can't go against it. Well, I will. Before he could say any more, a fist came at his face. Naruto fell to the ground with a large thud. Naruto. Sasuke pushed the Anbu off the platform and helped Naruto onto his feet. If you plan to save me, you need to be awake for it. Without answering, the two ran to the edge of the platform and jumped off. Sasuke landed at the base of the platform and ran, with Naruto following right behind. Stop them! An Anbu ordered. One Anbu ran at the two, ready to stop them when they came up to him. Sasuke. Naruto extended a hand to him. Sasuke took the hand and the two delivered a hard clothesline to the Anbu. The two continued to run from the Anbu behind them and clearing the way in front of them from any other Anbu. As they came upon some more Anbu before them, Sasuke ran ahead of Naruto. He jumped up and landed a kick to the Anbu on his left and spun around to slam his heel at the Anbu on his right, before landing back down on the ground. The two continued to run, getting closer to the gate. As they got closer, more Anbu appeared, standing between them and the gate. With their exit blocked, Naruto and Sasuke were trapped by them and the other shinobi. Tsunade arrived at the scene and approached Naruto. I should have guessed that you would try to save him. Tsunade said, you know that this is a crime. Of course I do. Naruto answered, but I won't easy. If you want Sasuke, you're gonna have to get through me first. Naruto. Tsunade was touched by this, but knew that she couldn't fall to his words. Don't make this harder for me. Just because you're the son of the fourth, it doesn't entitle you to break laws. Being Minato's son has nothing to do with this. Naruto talked back, I grew up with everyone hating me. Even those I saw as kind and gentle, I could see that they secretly hid a small amount of hate, but they were too nice to show me that side. Sasuke was the first person I saw as someone who could possibly understand me. He became my best friend and the closest thing to a brother. If you are going to take that away from me, you might as well send me back to my father. Naruto pulled out a kunai and placed the blade right by his teeth. Tsunade simply smiled at this, you will never change, will you? You're still that same little brat from when I first met you. So will you let Sasuke live? Put the kunai away first, then we'll talk. Tsunade said. 3 months later, people of Konoha were all dressed in formal kimonos and gathering in a large banquet hall. The day had finally come that two would join together in martial bliss. Those two were Neji and Tenten. During the time between the day of Sasuke's cancelled execution and tonight, Neji has been acting more strange than people often see him as. When Hinata was able to find a time to talk to Neji alone, he revealed that he had fallen in love with Tenten and wanted to propose, but admitted that talking with a woman wasn't his best talents. With Hinata's help, he was able to understand to some extent on how he can treat Tenten with better respect. Lee, Naruto, and Kiba offered their opinions on how to propose to Tenten and make it one that she'll never forget. When the time came that he decided to finally ask the question, it was when Tenten achieved the rank of Junin. Neji offered to take her to his place for the night. When they arrived, Tenten was shocked to find his entire apartment lit with candles. It was then, Neji proposed and she accepted. The moment would have been more enjoyable, if only Naruto didn't accidentally fall out of the broom closet, along with Kiba and Lee coming out of their hiding places. The engagement dinner was planned by Sakura and Ino, along with some help from Shizune. Naruto, we're gonna be late. Sakura called out from outside Naruto's apartment. The door opened and Naruto came out, standing in his kimono robes. He wore a black robe that had an stat design of a fox on the back in orange thread. His hakama, widespread pants that looked like skirts, was orange and wrapped with a black obi sash. How do I look? Naruto asked. You look great. Sakura smiled. Hinata's really gonna like it. Naruto looked at Sakura. You look great yourself. She wore a red kimono that had intricate designs of flowers in pink and green. Her hair was tied back into a bun for this formal occasion, which was something that she had never done regularly. Thanks. She blushed. I was hoping that Sasuke might come, but I guess he still has time to commit. When Tsunade agreed that Sasuke's execution wouldn't proceed and that he was free from the charges, he still had to be punished in some way. With the agreement of the elders and Naruto's regrettable consent, Sasuke was to be imprisoned for a set amount of time. I'm sure he'd think the same way of you as I do. Naruto said. He knew that without Sasuke, she wouldn't have as much fun at this dinner. Tell you what, when the time comes, I'll dance with you for a few songs. Really? Sakura asked. You don't have to, I mean, after all, you have Hinata. She'll understand. Naruto smiled. The dinner proceeded as any would. The guests arrived and were seated. The couple was introduced and friends and family of the couple gave their best wishes to them. After the dinner was finished, it was the time for music and dancing. Gaara and his siblings came to the engagement dinner to also give the best wishes to the happy couple, mainly because Temari wanted to enjoy a dinner with Shikamaru and thought that her brothers should join too. Naruto had met with Hinata just outside of the banquet hall before going in. She wore a dark blue kimono that had white flowers on one sleeve and on the bottom of her skirt. Like Sakura, her hair was tied for this occasion. The table that Naruto and Hinata sat in was with Sakura, Ino, Kiba, and Shino. A table next to theirs had Shikamaru, Temari, Kankuro, Lee, Choji, and Sai. As a regulation, Gaara, being the Kazekage, was seated at a table with Tsunade, along with others. I still can't believe Neji and Tenten are engaged. Ino smiled. I thought Neji would never pop the question. Well, you should have seen him when he tried to propose. Naruto giggled. You could see his legs shaking and face sweating. Kiba even said that he could smell the sweat. Tenten and Neji later arrived at their table when the music came on and other people got up to dance. Hi guys. Tenten smiled. Hey. Sakura got up from her chair and hugged her. Congrats, Tenten. Thanks. I never thought I'd get engaged to Neji so soon. Tenten said. I thought he'd take forever, though I didn't really like how Naruto ruined the moment. Naruto grumbled as he drank a cup of sake. He wouldn't have known how to propose if it wasn't for me. As a waiter came by, Naruto lifted his cup. Could I get another please? The waiter took the cup and left. Naruto-kun, you shouldn't drink so much. Hinata said, worrying for him. Hey, don't worry Hinata. Naruto smiled. He put an arm over Hinata's shoulders. I can hold my liquor pretty well. I've occasionally drank while I was gone for the past 3 years, and Ero Sennin often took me out to drink during training. Wouldn't you have been underaged? Tenten asked. He told me that learning to hold one's liquor was a step into being a man. Naruto said. The waiter came by with another cup for Naruto. Arigato. Hey Neji, let's dance. Tenten grabbed his arm. All right. Neji smiled. Care to join us? I'll be there. Ino said, getting up from her seat. Let me just get Sai. She went over to Sai's table to get him for a dance. With many of them on the dance floor dancing to a soft slow music, Sakura was still at her table watching it all. Seeing them all dacking and smiled with someone made her sad. She just couldn't handle seeing it. She got up from her table and left the banquet hall, going outside to the balcony. Naruto noticed her leaving as he was about to go dance with Hinata. Naruto-kun, what's wrong? Hinata asked. Oh, it's Sakura, Naruto said, looking back at Hinata. She was hoping to see Sasuke here. I'm really sorry, but I need to see if she's alright. It's okay, Hinata said, go see her. Thanks. He gave her a small kiss and left to go to the balcony to join Sakura. Sakura, are you alright? Naruto asked. Not really, Sakura answered, wiping some tears off her eyes. I didn't think I'd feel so empty. I really wish Sasuke was here too. Naruto said. He wrapped his arms around Sakura and hugged her. I'm sure he would have wanted to be here too. Am I late for the party? Huh. Both Naruto and Sakura looked behind them and saw someone that they did not expect. Sasuke. Naruto was indeed surprised to find that Sasuke was here. Sasuke wore a black kimono with a blue hakama. Sakura stared at him open-jawed and eyes widened. What are you doing here? I thought you had to serve time. Sakura said. Tsunade-sama managed to pull a few strings. Sasuke said. For the first time in a long time, Sasuke smiled. It wasn't a smirk or a grin, it was in fact a smile. We should probably go back inside. Sakura said. I'm sure Naruto would. When she looked over to Naruto, he wasn't there anymore. When she looked back to Sasuke, he was now standing right in front of her. The closeness between the two made her blush brightly. I think I prefer this. Sasuke smiled. Sasuke. Sakura turned away, trying to hide her smile and her red face. She brushed her hair off her face and leaned over on the railing of the balcony, resting her elbows on the rail. You have no idea how long I've waited to be able to be with you like this. Actually, I do. Sasuke answered, leaning on one elbow which was on the rail. Naruto filled me in on lots of things when I came back. He brought his hand to Sakura's face and gently brought her face towards him. When we were a team, back when we were still genin, I never really opened up to you, not because I wasn't interested, but I was afraid. Afraid? Of what? Sakura asked. All I wanted was to kill my brother after what he did to our clan. That was the only thing in my mind, and I thought that if I had someone in my life, someone I could care about, I was afraid of losing her because of my revenge. So I made it look like I wasn't interested and how I hated you. Sasuke answered. His smile faded away into a frown. Sasuke, you know you don't have to face this alone anymore. Sakura said, people care about others so that they can help each other. Naruto searched for you ever since you left because he wanted to help you. Maybe it's time to try and have more people in your life. Sasuke's frown slowly curled back up into a smile. Maybe you're right. He leaned over to Sakura, and before she could recall what just happened, Sasuke's lips met with hers. The two closed their eyes and melted away into their moment. When they opened their eyes and parted their lips, they were both blushing. I'll start with you. Inside the banquet hall, Naruto stood by the door and watched the two. Way to go, Sasuke. Naruto smiled, speaking to himself. It's about time. Hinata noticed that Naruto was no longer at the table, but just outside the balcony. She walked over to him, and when she was close to him, she wrapped her arms around his waist and rested her head on his shoulder. What are you doing out here? She didn't need an answer, for it was in front of her. Sasuke and Sakura were in each other's arms, kissing once more. Beautiful, isn't it? Naruto smiled. I'm so happy for her. Hinata smiled. I haven't seen her smile that much in months. Naruto reached over and held onto Hinata's hand. What do you say, we go back inside for a dance? Can you really dance? Hinata asked. With you in my life, I feel like I can just glide through the air. Naruto said, I'll let my feet fly. Hinata simply smiled with a small blush as the two went back inside. A few days later, you three be safe, Tsunade said. Naruto and Sasuke stood in front of a large crowd, just outside the Konoha gates. Naruto carried the large sword that was once the weapon of Zabuza Momoki on his back. Jugo was with the two as they prepared to leave. Come on, you've got two of the greatest ninjas together. Naruto smiled, nothing can go wrong. The crowd consisted of fellow shinobi who were wishing them good luck on their mission. This mission wasn't much of a big issue, it was more of a request by Naruto. Him and Sasuke were to bring the sword back to Zabuza's grave. Jugo was finally cured of his impulse decay, thanks to Tsunade. Now he was free to live life normally again. Remember to give your respects to him, Jiraiya said. And please give my respects to him and Haku. Kakashi said. I will. Naruto answered. We should hurry and get going. Sasuke said, the sooner we leave, the sooner we can come back home. You two play it safe. Kiba grinned. The crowd then scattered, knowing that there was nothing else to say until they returned. Only Sakura and Hinata were left. Please be safe, Naruto-kun. Hinata said softly. I promise. Naruto smiled. He hugged Hinata as he pressed his lips onto hers. When the kiss stopped, he backed away and saw that Hinata's eyes had tears in them. Hey, don't cry. I'll be alright. I'm just going to miss you. Hinata said, wiping the tears off her eyes. I'll miss you too. Naruto said, I love you. I love you too, Naruto-kun. Those two are just adorable, aren't they? Sakura asked. They sure are. Sasuke answered. Naruto's got a great power. One that'll be remembered by people. Sakura smiled. This was a rare occasion that Sasuke would actually say something nice about Naruto. You know, Naruto became a Junin. That makes you the only member in our age group that's still a genin. What? Sasuke suddenly realized that this was true. He defected Konoha while he was still a genin and remained as one for these long years. Calm down, you can still have your chance. Sakura smiled, just wait for the next Chunin exams. She leaned forward to Sasuke and kissed him. First, deal with this. Alright. Sasuke smirked, I'll see you in a few days. Okay. Sakura smiled, I love you, Sasuke. I know you do. Sasuke smiled. A small vein popped in Sakura's head. All she wanted from him was to say, I love you. We'll work on that someday. Naruto walked up to the two. Are we ready to go? Yeah. Let's set off. Sasuke answered. The two walked off, leaving and on their way to the land of waves. Bye guys. Sakura waved at the two as they slowly shrank away in the horizon. Bye Naruto-kun. Hinata waved as well. When the two figures disappeared in the distance, the two girls walked back into the village. Naruto, Sasuke, and Jugo made their way to the wave country. So Jugo, what do you plan to do now? Naruto asked, now that Bachan cured you, what's there for you? I'm going to start a new life at the wave country. Jugo answered, do something with myself that'll make me forget about my past. Sounds good to me. Sasuke said, that place could sure use a nice guy like you. Hinata and Sakura walked through the busy street of Konoha, making their way back home. But in this case, Hinata wasn't heading home, the direction she was walking was the opposite of where her home was. So, what are you doing now? Sakura asked. I'm going to be moving my things to Naruto's apartment. Hinata answered, I'm hoping to get it all there before he comes back. Why don't I help? Sakura asked, we could get it done faster. And if there's still time, we can clean the place up again. Okay. Hinata nodded and smiled, that would be great. And when we're done, we can clean up Sasuke's place. Sakura said, that place has been filthy for decades. The two walked off through the crowd of villagers. This wasn't like any normal day, changes have been made around this village, people have changed. This must be a sign of a new world, a world that will be determined by this new generation. New dangers may come, but they will always fight together, as one, and conquer all evil. For they are, Shinobi of the Hidden Village. X. That will be all for this video, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos, goodbye.